away. am the one, I'm here, infiltrated. Your time has come to be downgraded. I've already won, as far as can see. So keep your eyes on me. I recommend you keep your distance. I'm combustible. Keep on burning day and night. I'm unstoppable. I'm searing hot. I am untouchable. Yes, I'm on fire. Ignited by a burning desire. Can't contain the cyber through your try to spy. All the sun is trying to stop me. I defy. There's no bringing me down. I am the one. I'll be best up and down now. When all this said and done, the day is mine. Oh, like a force by permeates into your bones. I'll be the
Hello, hello.
through the top of your thrones.
Welcome back to the stream. Ah, of course I didn't get the robot. We're just gonna do some base stuff real quick before we get right into the story. We're gonna do as much as we can today in about... We're gonna do like 3 hours or so. 3 hours, 3.5 hours. And then that's probably all we're gonna do today, but we're gonna come back tomorrow and do some more.
I recommend you keep your distance. I'm combustible. Keep on burning day and night.
Oh, no, it's not Frosted. It's Phantom that's done. Who else did I want to start working on? Oh, AO is already in there. Whoops. We'll do Lupuma. I use her a lot in IS. Hell yeah. Actually, I want to... Damn it. Can't do that. I guess I'll just remember. This is... metal.
Это была, когда улыбался только мертвый.
And that should be good for a bit.
А то, что случилось.
Also made sure to keep potions just in case. Though I don't know if we'll be able to make it that far. It's probably mostly going to be used for this though. Oh, I don't have any tickets, never mind. I'm not waiting around. So before we start, we're gonna mute that. we're going to open up. That is the wrong menu for volume. There we go. And while we will start in just a second, I'm going to go get a drink of water and go to the restroom before we start, because I'm going to need the water. All right. I'm excited to start. Why is my model looking? Stop looking up. There we go. Yeah. Soldier seems to like the hot wind blowing on deck. Reminds him of the warmth of fire when cooking supper back home. New red wheat seeds, a burden-bee saddle. Mill operation unit looking for previously owned. Spine massager, may need mail order. 2 woolen coats, Swinton's tailor shop. Dad's needs its hem trimmed short. The romance of eyes, crossed out. I said I forgot. Grab some cheap candy to tide the kids over. Ask George if he can borrow his medal. Piers. Yes, Captain. I heard your leave was approved. Yes, I suppose it went rather well. It's all thanks to that baby face of yours, lad. The brass occasionally wanted to put up a facade of caring about their subordinates. They call it good branding. I guess the brass happened to be in a good mood. The mill back home stopped working, and the old carpenter there broke his leg again. So my mother asked me home to help out. 10 days of leave minus 8 days on the road. A day and a half is more than enough for me to deal with that rickety antique. I left an extra half day open, just in case my dad needs help tilling the other part of the field. Oh right, I should pick up another dozen work gloves. The ones back home are past their prime. Hmm? Is this a shopping list? That's right, Captain. Just so nothing is missing. I don't know when I'm going to get time off again. Hopefully you've earned yourself a real medal or two by then. Of course, all for Victoria. That's the kind of ambition I want to see, lad. I once knew a bloke named Todd. He and I fought against those spire casters out in the frontier, and he earned himself a solid gold medal. What a beautiful thing that was, glittering as it hung on his chest, shone so brightly nobody could take their eyes off it. Our beloved Duke Windermere personally awarded him the medal, which is the highest of honors of any soldier. But at the celebration banquet later on, old Todd had a bitter look on his face. Can you guess why? Give me 1 second. Okay, I think I got everything ready. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Sorry about that. Because he wasn't satisfied with the merits he earned? No, it was much worse than that. He couldn't lift his mug to take a swig of beer. His hands got replaced with a pair of wooden prosthetics. The veteran officer grins, showing a mouthful of yellow teeth. The young soldier laughs dryly. He knows this is one of the officer's many poor jokes. The wind is so strong on the deck that the soldier has to hold on to the brim of his hat, letting out a loud yet harmless sneeze. No matter the season or weather, standing on the deck of a prancing high-speed battleship always makes one want to wrap himself in a coat. The young soldier thinks to himself, Wells is in charge today. How many cans of ration did that pudgy bald man swipe? But the creamy vegetable chowder he makes is without equal, and if fortune is on his side, that old bastard might even throw in a healthy serving of foul beast into the soup. He figures that he should leave after the sun sets and he finishes dinner. The mobile fortress they're stationed in has already reached Londinium's vicinity. When the weather is clear, they can even see the pinnacle of the Shard on the horizon. After returning to the station, he'd board the logistics squad's transport vehicle and head to the nearest town first, where he'd be able to have a drink or two at the tavern. In the early morning, there'd be cobblers heading into town to sell their wares. 2 boxes of tobacco would let them hitch a ride. The young soldier recalls those barns from back home, always filled with the fermented smell of composted straw. Even now, that smell occasionally wafts to him in his dreams, making him want to pinch his nose. But at the same time, it represents a connection with his own hometown. If it only occurs occasionally, then so be it. He furrows his brows quietly, deciding not to continue deluding himself with these sentiments. Even if it's only occasional, he doesn't want to experience that stench again. He must admit that it is always the biggest impediment every time he returns home. The fog's rising again. I'll never get used to Londinium's bloody weather. Wasn't much better when we were stationed at Lithanian's outskirts, but at least you could enjoy a little sunrise in the afternoon. Go, tell the captain. We can't see a thing at this weather observation outpost. Something's interfering with the radar too. We should head back. Castor's forces are obediently maintaining formation. Godonan moved his men further back. Other than the few familiar faces in the forward team, Old Wellington's main force still hasn't shown up. Other than our dear Duke Windermere, the remaining 7 dukes are watching on from the sidelines. The patrol's over. Sir, that's sarcasm. None of our business. The brass always have their own agenda. But I heard that Londinium's peers. I've been a soldier for over a decade. After drinking and playing cards, the most important thing I've picked up from being in the army is those rumors you hear are always bunkum and balderdash. Never pay any heed to them. The officers in the back have their eyes on the map and will take care of everything. Ours is to but do and die. Isn't it our duty to defend Victoria? Only they can decide what Victoria is, boy. Our job is just simply to follow orders. Go and head back. Our day of peace is over. I ought to treat myself to a hot shower. This damn fog's making my bones ache. Maybe things have been too stressful these days. The young soldier begins to thank himself for taking some time off to unwind. The battlefield always puts people on edge, even more so when you don't know when or where war will break out, or who you can trust. He thinks to himself, it's a bit clammy. He lifts his hand to undo the first button of his shirt, seeing as how his dear officer had just declared the end of the armistice. A little disregard for protocol shouldn't matter. He thinks of the fireplace back home. A few years ago, he came home wearing a brand new military outfit, unwilling to undo even a single button despite sweating profusely from the heat of hearth. For that, the young lass surely laughed at him for quite some time. The young soldier curls the corner of his lips. That's why I didn't bring you your sappy romance novel. Payback. Oh. Not Parvis. Damn. Main count and output is normal. Confirming target destroyed. Good. Begin preparations for the next phase. The Dukes will react soon. Teresa? Your Highness. Your Highness? A new face? Yes, Your Highness. I was just promoted from the mercenary unit by the General. It is the greatest honor. You've always been my... It's an honor to make your acquaintance as well. What is your name? My name is... I don't have a formal name. They just call me Elbow. Damn, I should have picked a name from a book. Elbow. Why that name? It's nothing. I just got burnt when I was drinking soup. I mean, it's a stupid story, hardly worth your attention, Your Highness. You must have been holding your bowl too high. No, it was Plug. That bastard ran into me. Next time I see him, I swear. Your Highness. Oh, I'm sorry, General. Your Highness. You may leave. It seems you still have a lot of work to do. I heard they're serving creamy vegetable chowder at the airship garrison tonight. Don't miss supper time. Thank you, Your Highness, Teresa. When each battle ends, the Sarkaz have a home to return to. We'll be able to return to Kazdel soon, right? Of course. I prefer to be with them rather than with the aristocrats of the royal court. Each and every moment, the collective souls of the Sarkaz forced me to my knees, immersing me in our long and painful history. But these newly grown children, give me a tangible sense of the future. And what should we do with this future? Consign it to another round of war sweeping across the land? When scorched earth spreads as far as the eye can see, will these new seedlings sprout as we hope? Hope is as weighty as ever, Manfred. Your Highness, in accordance with the military commission's plans, a section of Londinium has been detached. As of right now, it has arrived at the designated location, parked between the main city and the Duke's encirclement. It will become the cornerstone and launch pad of our next offensive, and this airship will also temporarily dock there. The Duke of Windermere should soon receive news that her high-speed battleship has been destroyed. But she also cannot ignore the threat this airship poses, which in turn will help the Nachtzehner's King's Front develop. In accordance with the reagent's instructions, we must next take a look outside, General. Manfred turns to look out the window. He is forced to admit that the carefully planned flames burning before his eyes are not as exhilarating as he had imagined. The firelight is blinding. Our war has finally broken out. According to the military commission's projections, the Dukes will cautiously proceed with military operations within 16 hours. We have already made our preparations. No, the war never ended. It is not only ranks ripping through other ranks that is worthy of the name of war. Those eyes lurking behind the curtains, those curses whispered in the dead of night, those suppressed cries are all war. Those compatriots who perished alone in the barrens, those robes dragged across the ground during the black processions, those Kazdel bricks and tiles sealed away in a collector's glass display case, are also all war. War has always been a part of us. We simply pushed it out for all to see once again. Even if the flames of war were ignited in Victoria, Casdell has always been a part of the battlefield. I've already made many plans with the general about this. No, Manfred, that's not what I was asking. I simply observe that beneath our feet, the shadow of this airship covers all indiscriminately. Put an end to it, General. If this ultimately is proven to be the only way for the Sarkaz, then drown tears with tears and bury suffering with suffering. This is the only way. I will carry out your will, Your Highness. You see that? No mistake about it. Looks like it came straight out of a storybook. The harbinger of destruction, the prophet of turmoil, nightmare given form. So, you ever see that gloom pincer as big as a mountain, lugging along its chest of perfume? Yep, just like red-nosed Humbert was, Humbert talked about. Nine said before, you're in no condition to be drinking. I only had a sip. I don't have much time left. Leave me with my last bit of hope. You still remember that night on the snowfield, right? Everyone was freezing to death. And Humbert told us about a strange legend from his village. Sorry, I signed on in Victoria. Oh, really? I thought... Humbert died back in Ursus. He was a good guy. Took at least 4 of those patrol unit bastards with him. Damn it, you would have appreciated him in his stories. Gotta pour one out for him. You're drunk again, Romanek. How many times do I have to tell you? Hand over the flagon. Ma'am, I don't have much longer to live. Come on. You've still got a long life ahead of you, if you listen to the doctor. I hate doctors. They're all liars. All of them. I need these fluids. They let me see. He's asleep again. Toss him a blanket. We can't be too far from Londinium now. Yeah, if we're lucky, we'll be able to see those city walls in just over a week. It'd be faster if we could fix that piece of junk car. You don't see catastrophes too often around Londinium. Given the current situation, it's virtually impossible not to bump into any of the Duke's troops, and none of them are going to welcome us. Then throw the Sarkaz on top. We need to be even more cautious during our subsequent operations. We need to find our trapped people, whether they still think they're our people or not. Getting everyone back together is difficult, but we still feel the same pain and share the same sorrow. Those feelings never stop chasing us, and they force us to keep moving forward. I'm not saying that just to cope, but this is the only thing that we can do with a full peace of mind. Let those infected on the verge of despair know that they still have comrades out there, and that their lives aren't disposable. Stay where you belong. Tallulah. 9. I'm just getting a breath of fresh air. Fine, I have my eye on you. Flames are burning, out there in the distance. They've been burning for quite some time now. Hopefully it's just a patch of wood struck by lightning. Our squad will cross over. Lightning, huh? I saw you were making stew back at camp. I was just helping out the cook. She still had 2 baskets of potatoes to get through. I gave it a taste. Wasn't too bad. Alina, an old friend once taught me a few things. Oh, Alina. I thought I'd forgotten it all. If you're so willing to play a part before facing justice, I won't stop you. But you best remember who you are, Tallulah. We'll be watching you, all of us. I know. Start packing up. It's time to go. Huh? I fell asleep? Damn it. Come on, 9. Take pity on this old man. Let me have another sip. Otherwise, I'm good as dead today. Bah, did you see that? The edge of the sky is blood red. Humbert said that's a good omen. A good omen, I tell you. He said that was the other shore? Victory? I don't exactly remember. Maybe it means tomorrow will be a good day, my friends. That was a lot shorter than I expected, honestly. Right into a tutorial. Oh boy. Know right from wrong. The most dangerous thing on the battlefield is not the downpour of enemy fire you will face. It's imposters trying to win your sympathy. Allies have greatly reduced cost limit. Really? How interesting. Hayes, Kawara, and Susuro. Sus. Susuro. So what is this all about? For this special operation in Norport, we'll start with limited initial deployment resources. Ah, I remember this because this was what was it? I remember this mechanic, I just don't remember what from what I remember it from. But like you kill certain enemies and then your max deployment points go up again. Oh. It's IS4. Yeah. Thanks, Misa. I realized that right as soon as I saw your message. Fortunately, victorious citizens will come to our aid and replenish our deployment resources once they enter our protection zone. But some of them can be spies. There it is. However, there are spies hidden among them. Our operators will begin to identify any unidentified civilians once they enter their attack range or become blocked. After some time has passed, we will be able to ascertain whether they are spies. I think blue means they're... Yeah, okay, there we go. Legitimate civilians will no longer be blocked once our identity has been confirmed. But keep in mind that only identified civilians will replenish our deployment resources once they enter our protection zone. Hey, that guy looks kind of sus. Is he a spy? You can often tell a spy from civilian by subtle differences in their behavior. Oh, because he's going a different direction than the other ones. That's why this guy's sus. Look, we detected signs that that one's a spy. Suspicious individuals reveal their true colors a little while after they're identified. Stop the spies.
There you are.
Oh, I should have stopped. I should have stopped them here instead of back here. So that, yeah, that was a mistake from my part.
Out and about.
I think we'll still be fine in the end, but that is a mistake.
I'm here. Meow, you think you've got all the trimmings, don't you?
Because if I put Cora up here instead, then Cruz and Orchid would have been able to help out, make this a lot faster.
Mission accomplished. Perfect victory? Whatever. A victory's a victory after all.
Also, Misa, welcome. Glad to have you here. Also, I have recently added something to the Restream bot, which means that any messages from YouTube or Twitch should go to the respective chats. Like, any YouTube messages should go to Twitch chat, and any Twitch messages should go to the YouTube chat. It's a really cool feature that I found, and I hope it works out. Compatibility. Oh, right. Oh yeah, we're definitely just gonna do straight standard. I don't think I can make it hard. I can make it hard. Yeah, it is really cool. Holy crap, it costs 42. Enemy units have increased movement speed. 9 out of the maps are no longer available. I think I'm gonna do this just because we're only going for 3 hours ish today, And I know that my voice will drop off the face of the earth a lot sooner than normal, and I also have potions available just in case we get farther than I think. On that note, we're gonna bring Inez just because this is her chapter. Working on her trust. I think I'm still working on Podenko's trust too. You should be the last one. Oh, wait. Oh no, I have Aya. I don't need Collapsus right now. I already have 2 Vanguards. Let's hit the trust button, see what's up. We can go La Pluma. We'll go La Pluma.
In work or in battle, I'll give it all I've got.
I forgot whose voice that was. Is that Aya's? I think that was Aya's. No, I think that was Angelina's. I actually think that was Angelina's. There was an accent in there. I think that was Angelina's. We've confirmed that a high-speed warship belonging to the Duke of Windermere was attacked by an unknown Sarkaz weapon. There were no survivors. No, Parvis. Poor guy. He just got his freedom to leave the military. Our preliminary conclusion is that the weapon in question is indeed the structure that briefly appeared in the skies over Londinium. Based on frontline evaluation from the remote observation team, the weapon's powerful mid-air suspension abilities and the efficiency of its Originium Arts generator deserve due caution. It is impossible to evaluate the Sarkaz's technical base for manufacturing large-scale armed aerial vehicles given the information we currently have. We are in the process of gathering more intel. However, until it has been proven that the Sarkaz possess the technological means to mass-produce such weapons, we would recommend against categorizing this target as the highest threat level for the time being, as countermeasures have already been deployed. Ooh, I like this. This is really cool. This is a war map. Duke of Wellington, Londinium with Norport, Duke of Castor, and Windermere over here. Ironclad Galloway. It's definitely like military forces. That's what the lines in the arrow are for, that are going towards. Though this might just be like a setup. These might just be setups, and that's why this is here. I don't remember what specifically these ones mean, but I remember the rest from like other games that I've played in the past that are military based. Should be also noted that Norport Borough, Londinium's old logistics district, was separated from the main bodium of Londinium City yesterday. That the plate is now docked by itself between the city and the Londinium peripheral front formed by the various dukes. Yeah, it's a front. We have reason to suspect that the Sarkaz are trying to convert this plate into a forward operating base, using it to support their state of large-scale military operations in the foreseeable future. It will likely also be used as a temporary stop for that large-scale Sarkaz weapon. The current commander of the Londinium Defense Forces, Lieutenant Colonel Leteau, issued a statement claiming that Norport was accidentally separated from Londinium's main body due to technical reasons. A large number of Londinium citizens will still remain on the plate, and the defense forces are preparing to launch a rescue plan for these citizens. The remote observation team has provided several photos taken on scene. At the moment, we are not planning any large-scale operations against this plate. However, intelligence personnel believe that a series of irregular staff transfers between the Duke of Windermere's mobile fortress and ironclad Galave over the last 8 hours is likely related to the situation in Norport. Several analysts have pointed out that the Duke of Windermere's military claims to this plate are more than radical than we previously anticipated, and the specific reasons behind this warrant a more in-depth investigation. We are monitoring the other Duke's attitudes and subsequent actions in response to this Sarkaz attack, and will be submitting routine analysis reports at shorter intervals. Awaiting further instructions. Technical reasons. How unsophisticated. But it gets the job done. They know full well that we all care greatly about our reputations, especially in the face of Victoria's coming future. So they also decided to throw out a bit of bait. A flying fortress, huh? Pains me to say this, but as long as they're holding Norport Borough at gunpoint, things are going to get messy. Now even Wellington doesn't have the nerve to rush over with its high-speed warship, rain fire down on the old logistics area, and snatch away his new toy. But he won't be able to resist the temptation. Affirmative. The Duke of Wellington's troops have sped up their advance. We suspect he's already gained intel on the airship. This massive airship is indeed beyond our calculations, and it has the potential to reshape future wars. But as the intelligence says, we're far from the point of things spiraling out of control. According to our estimates, even if the Sarkaz had a secret channel for transporting supplies, they wouldn't have had time or resources to build multiple airships. Those damn devils can hardly bring out the value of this technology, but perhaps we can. That's right. Naturally, this is extremely important to me. Even if I don't give the order, I expect that you'll bring it to me. However, our gaze ought to be cast wider than just this singular piece of technology. What really worries me is we've let the Sarkaz run amok in the Shard for far too long. Even the most dim-witted fools will eventually figure out what lies behind those buttons and levers. Allerdale. I don't blame her. She was ever ambitious, though. That was her strong suit, and I allowed her to keep it. But it doesn't look like there's any way to make use of our Stone of the Sword. Rest assured, the dukes who supported you, along with their vassals, are still resolutely on your side. I promised them peace and safety, and I will deliver. Forever honor one's commitments. That has always been the model of House Castor since ancient times. Jobly Asher is already being dealt with. Naturally. They always have a way. Then, Your Grace, about the citizens of Norport. Lieutenant Colonel Leteau said that he was preparing a rescue plan. You won't go wrong putting your trust in that Gaulish commander. I've met him before. He's an interesting man. The Sarkas have never publicly claimed to occupy Londinium, as it has nominally been under the control of the defense forces. And this lieutenant colonel has managed to survive in his position for 4 years without getting caught up in any major trouble either. We all know what those devils are like, so that fact alone is respectable enough. Who knows, maybe he's more keen on becoming a savior than we are. I see what you're saying. Getting the right people into the right positions and turning valued friends into truly loyal partners is harder than we initially expected. Old Wellington knows what I want, and I know what he wants. Though we've never talked about these things openly, we naturally helped each other, all while keeping an extra knife sharpened for one another. Poor thing, Windermere's been playing with the Lithanians for so long. Might be a while until she remembers how Victoria works. Indeed, we still don't quite understand why the Duke of Windermere is so keenly interested in Norport's affairs. Does she also want that airship technology? Maybe she wants to add another card to her hand. She knows she's in for a rough time soon. With opportunity comes desire. Both are, as honey, equally effective as leading people into the abyss. That cousin of mine failed to understand this, which is why he's been dead for 26 years. You know, he still appears in my dreams from time to time. Can't say I ever liked him. He was a bombastic, self-righteous boy. When we were young, he'd run up and down the corridors of this palace, spouting quotes from the past kings he saw in some book. And he'd always spew the same trite platitudes. A role model for the masses. Noblesse oblige, what have you. He treated those words as his guiding compass, though they probably didn't even come from the kings they were attributed to. In all likelihood, they were flattering embellishments added by the royal archivists. He actually believed those words, and paid the price for it. But despite all that, I sometimes still miss him. During those years he was still around, we could pretend that all was well. But now even the dullest of men must open their eyes. Open their eyes and bear witness to all our ugliness, covetousness, and opportunism. War has broken out, and its advent has fulfilled everyone's wishes at all. Your Grace, this is also your chance to unite Victoria. Unity. Victoria has been trodden upon and sullied for far too long. You have the right to restore her glory. This war is for Victoria. No, no, my child. This war is not for Victoria alone. Victoria. How we love to speak the name of our country. No, it's nothing more than a rag to cover festering abscesses when the people are in need of morality, an empty husk to exploit hope when the people are in need of dignity. All those farmers, laborers, soldiers, and nobles, all of these who despise each other, who grope at each other's throats, why does lumping all of them together make the great Victoria? When they speak of Victoria, what is it they refer to? the fields they've tilled for half a lifetime, the factories that gorged on their blood and tears, collections of looted artifacts, great halls of important carpets, a splotch of color with a line of text on an atlas, or a news headline and a set of economic figures on a television set? Or is it the vast, glorious, and invincible empire built upon the foundations of each man's imagination? Let us prepare ourselves. Let us wait with bated breath. Take a good look. Witness where this war will take us. And we have yet to see a single Rhodes Island character. Good day, sir. Let me guess. You want to be strung up on that fence too, huh? To be honest, I don't have a lot of fun with that job. I suggest you turn around and crawl back to where you belong. No, please wait, good sir. The others wanted me to come and talk to you. That's not what I meant. We just have a few trivial issues, so if you would show us a bit of mercy. When did you Victorians start taking us devils for a bunch of bleeding hearts? All we wanted was to know what's going on in Norport Borough. Nothing worth mentioning. What if... Look, we can still scrounge up some valuable trinkets. Surely you've heard of Sargon gems. I have a number of them here. Get lost. I get it. You're not interested, huh? I also have a collection of old Gaulish paintings that are said to be priceless. Oh, alright. Maybe I was out of line to say that. This is gonna cost me my life, isn't it? How about a Sancta Patron firearm? I just happen to have one stashed away back home. Interesting. You got your hands on an Angel's Guardian gun, huh? It's not mine, though. It's just for safekeeping. Heavens, those angels from the notarial hull are gonna flay me alive if they found out. But if you're interested, I just happen to hear you, the Sarkaz enjoy collecting them, so... Listen up. I prefer my angelic toys freshly looted from a pile of corpses. Now piss off. Sarkaz, we just want to know what's going on. This is a perfectly legitimate request. So many of us have been driven out of our homes and crammed into a little ghetto with no place to live, no food, no freedom. Now all we want is an explanation. Are all these houses not good enough for you? Pick a door, any door. Knock on one of them. Get your sorry ass inside. What more do you want? A bathtub with a built-in back massager? Can't treat us like this. Where are the defense forces? I personally know Leto and I want to speak with him. We haven't broken any rules. Well, hello. She's cute. The question is her personality cute? That's enough, mister. Be careful. They're armed. Let go of me. What do I have to be careful for? Listen up, Sarkaz. I've lived here for 30 years. This is my city. This is my neighborhood. I know you've taken over those factories. I know you lust over Londinium's wealth. So take it. Splitting off a few factories won't put a dent in Victoria's glory. But I am my own man. Not even the king can take my home. Tell me, why did Norport Borough drive out of Londinium overnight? What's the meaning of all these walls outside the borough? Hey, are you trying to get yourself killed? What possessed you into thinking that you could challenge my authority? Wait, please, good sir. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Too late. What a waste. Listen up, you sorry worms. To tell the truth, I'd like nothing more than to slaughter each and every one of you right now, Seeing your faces makes me sick, but the boss says you lot are still useful. So I promised him I'd show him a little restraint. This is the grace I've afforded you, but know that I can take it back just as easily. Hurry, run, get away from here. Oh shit. He's going on a slaughter spree. Help! Run. Run as fast as you can, pathetic Victorians. You've had your fun already. Now it's time for you to get a taste of the life once forced onto us. Hide in every nook and cranny, hide beneath every shadow. Rip up your morality and swallow your dignity. This is everything we Sarkas have experienced. Now rejoice, because it's yours too. Call it equality. This is the kind of equality you've never known. Explain myself? Answer your questions? No. This is war, you dipshits. Learn it, embrace it. Just like we did for thousands of years. I'm not doing that. Where am I? Stop your blubbering already. Did you think they invited you here for a picnic? You can guess where the people who weren't so willing to come ended up. I have no idea. Baird. I'm gonna say Baird because that's how I know how to pronounce that name. You're hurt and need your wounds dressed. Follow me. I want to know who the pink feline is. I like her. Reception party.
ETA 6 mics.
So, there's a spot over there.
Oh, relax, Volcano. We're just here to collect a few precious samples. Please don't get mad.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Got it.
I'm listening. Don't keep me waiting. Nothing can mask the scent of despair.
This should work.
We'll do this. She's definitely not gonna survive, is she? Nope. Damn it.
Awaiting order. Cut them to pieces. Forward.
Oh, fuck.
Don't keep me better watch your step. Got it.
Damn it. Okay. I totally forgot about the fact that I have a limit on how much DP I can have again.
敵を確認しました。皆さん、行きましょう。皆さん、くれぐれも気をつけてくださいね。Volcanic soot contains.
You can't stop me. Picked out your bait yet? Okay. Nothing can mask the scent of despair.
Extend my edge. Life, brittle as frost, fragile like leaves.
Vermin. Got it. You can't stop me.
あいつらを通さなければいいんだよね。Life, brittle as frost, fragile like leaves.
I know what to do. Don't order me. Don't keep me better watch your step.
Now's the time to help everyone out. さっさとやっちゃおう。どこに行けばいいですか？ Extend my edge. Get away from me, please.
Awaiting orders. Don't keep me waiting.
思ってたよりちょっと大変。
Actually, what if I do
With all of you behind
that?
me, I won't take a single step back. Extend my edge. Don't come any closer. I'm so tense. Get away from me, please.
Don't keep me. You can't hide your fear.
Extend my edge. This time, we can make up for it.
Also,
Extend my edge.
we are detecting them this entire route, so that's just how slow it takes for them to get detected. That is insane.
Brittle as frost, fragile like leaves.
Yielding is not an option. I know what you can't hide your fear. Mission accomplished.
Alright, we should be safe here. Cador, it's still a mess outside. We're most certainly not in Londinium anymore. I reckon we can see the situation outside the plate from the top of the old loading tower. But I can't get near it. It's outside the restricted area. And I reckon even if you could spot anything, it wouldn't mean a thing. The Sark has to keep a close eye, and there are too many of them. Oh, look at this guy. Looks cool. Alright. What's the old bloke's story? He was trying to to talk terms with the Sarkaz? How did that turn out? Take a look yourself. There. It's about all I can do. Bandaging your wound. Thank you. Goodness. Why, just what happened? What else could have happened? The Sark have been in Londinium for 4 years now. You can't possibly still think they were invited here by that poor sod Cavendish as his guests, right? But they haven't ever what? You must be one of those noblemen who never leave their mansions and need their maids to fetch them from the morning siest milk. How do you fall so low as to find yourself in Norport? No, I'm but a scholar. I have merely run into certain troubles financially. As soon as I finish my manuscript, I shall... Drat, the manuscript is still in my study. Baird, you really got a knack for finding these poor, down on their luck bastards, don't you? Would you at least have some respect? If all goes well, it's very likely I will become the Royal Academies of Sciences' next academician. Very likely? I still don't understand. The news kept saying that all is well. What more do you want them to say? Friends and citizens, I sincerely regret to inform you that Londinium is now a shithole. The special instructors that they sent to the newspaper offices and TV stations actually earned their keep, you know. Did you see whose flag they were flying above the munitions factory in Highbury? If not, you've got to at least remember the fire in Ochteregg the other day, right? But the war? What about the defense forces? The Dukes? Aren't they defending us all around Londinium? How can this be? Sarkaz can't possibly triumph over the Dukes, can they? The Devils are a bunch of savages who cower in the wilderness, but Victoria is the greatest country across all of the lands. Who told you that? Did you realize that out of nowhere while munching on cake at home? I didn't feel that way at all when the Dibbles held me up against the wall and frisked me. Alright, next academician. Off you go. You don't belong here. But where can I go? My flat is not in this lockdown zone, and I have the slightest idea where my loyal servant is. I know no one here. What can you do? Medical work, sewing, repair, anything? My research is in heraldry. You scholarly chaps ever studied how to turn air into stakes? Well, it is by no means my area of expertise, but I imagine it's a little difficult. Baird, stop bringing these fancy lads back, will ya? He doesn't even understand sarcasm. We don't have a lot of supplies on hand here. Maybe he can help Delphine manage the warehouse? Hey! Short, but cute. Baird, stop trying to pass all your problems to me. I can't very well watch him die on the street. At times like this, we have to come together and unite as one. Even having one extra man on board is more power to us. Oh, isn't Delphine coming with chapter 13? She's like a 5-star, right? If so, I might just do a 10 roll just to try and get her. Whenever she releases. Come together. I wish Parliament and the Dukes would learn from you people. We wouldn't have fallen to where we are today. You think they're not united enough? They were all very united when it came to hanging the king. That was... never mind. I just hope you'll be of some use, Mr. Next Academian. I shall do everything in my power. Though, speaking of which, who would all of you be? Who are we? Alright, welcome to our gym, the Slobberknocker. You can call us Glasgow. Hey, the Glasgow gang! That's cool. Heidi, how have you been? To tell the truth, I haven't any idea where you've been as of late. Ever since Mr. Adams, the bookshop owner, died, I haven't been able to reach you. It's been a long time since I last continued our work. Forgive me, my dear friend. I never hide anything from you. But I am truly, very befuddled. You once told me that peace would come again. But I can't fool myself with false hope anymore. I can't hide in my room and pretend that everything we do is still meaningful. Right. We could look at things on a broader scale. The dimension of history. Of course, peace will come. It will, eventually. And war will undoubtedly shatter it in an even crueler way. I once thought we could win, and I still hope that we will win. But Heidi, if everything that we have done amounts to nothing but self-comfort, no, not if, this might already be the truth. These books, these desks, and this school that may come crumbling down at any moment, how are they meant to stand up against the force of a new era? Heidi, I can't keep going anymore. What should I do? Lady Golding, are you alright? I don't trust you. I remember what happened in Chapter 11. I don't trust you. Molly, you're back. Are you writing a letter? No, this is nothing. I just remembered a few novels that I read before. The protagonists are always charming, suave, always heading to the front lines wearing a uniform befitting of them with a pipe in their mouths. But the authors never tell us which battlefield they head to and how the trenches smell. Those who are enamored of the protagonist, both women and men, taste fine desserts with anxious hearts. Of course, we all know these are just literary techniques. The stories always end happily. Authors with a little bit of ambition might try to build what the critics call a profound atmosphere. The stories are adorned with preventable deaths, and they are always the protagonist's comrade and dearest friend, dying in the trenches to shield the hero. In the end, the wretched enemy finds themselves defeated by the hero's sword, thus restoring justice and morality. And at his fallen friend's funeral, a solemn crowd gathers to remember his heroics, as petals symbolizing honor are scattered atop the casket. This is the most emotional part. The protagonist clenches his fist, wipes his tears, and looks toward the morning sun with resolve. And without fail, they always say that hope will come and all sacrifices will be meaningful. And that's where the author stops. Let the readers imagine for themselves that truly beautiful future. Let them bask in that stately feeling in the end. I'm surprised you read these kinds of novels. It was years ago. Everyone was that age once. I used to be obsessed with these books when I was still a young girl. I wasn't very attached to the protagonists, actually, but I was indeed obsessed with those deaths. Sometimes I imagine myself one of those heroes who sacrificed themselves for their cause, and the masses would sing my praises for the era I helped create, or at the very least my sacrifice. How childish. Later on, I thought I'd be clear-headed enough to see past these sugar-coated fantasies. But then I started to notice there might be nothing inherently different between who I am now and who I was back then. Don't say that. You told the children yourself. Death is a solemn topic. Did I? I don't remember. Perhaps it was just the lectures that I've gotten so used to giving. How was procurement today? Not too bad. The situation on the streets isn't very serious. The prices at the shops haven't gone up, though there were more city defense soldiers than usual, and the Sarkaz soldiers. They're not as secretive as they used to be. But everyone is pretending as if nothing has happened, except what used to be Norport. There is nothing left except the support structures extending from the surrounding districts. What about those places? I need to apologize to you again. I should have never dragged you into this. It's just, Leto has his eyes on me, and every time I step out the door, I find myself followed by several ill-meaning men. I had no choice but to make a gamble that you are not on their watch list yet. No, I'm glad you do my part for Londinium. It's just that the places you told me about were all pretty quiet. I used the password, but no one answered. Maybe they have already given up? No, they are all stronger than I am. Much stronger. But I found a letter. Should be for you, so I didn't open it. This isn't their handwriting. The letter has practically all the information on the Self-Salvation Corps communications. What? How could that? This is a threat. They know us like the back of their hand. Then what should we do, Lady Golding? Molly, I'll have another list of places for you. I've never been to these bases myself, but having analyzed the flow of information, they should be there. I shouldn't take this risk. This goes against our established practices, but this information is important to the Self-Salvation Corps, right? Many lives are on the line. Then we must do this. Molly, just as I taught you, watch out for anyone who could be tailing you. Whether they're Sarkaz or not, do not let your guard down. Look for a girl called Clavicia there, or anyone who can get in contact with her. Tell them that the entire intelligence network has been exposed. They must evacuate immediately. Lady Golding, where are you going? To Leto's office. I will try to buy as much time as I can for the rest of you. But relax. I'll be fine. I just hope I'm stronger than I think I am. Amiya! It's been a while. Doctor, I had a dream. I saw the city surrounded in dark clouds, and blood-stained Sarkaz flags flew above every building. Outside the city, Originium grew everywhere my eyes could see. I saw a rusted throne towering above the lands. The masses kneeled before it, crying tears stained in black. I saw the person on the throne wave their arm, and the shouts that followed pierced the sky. Yet in the shadow of the throne, the cowering men lifted their heads ever so slightly. I felt what they felt. I don't know how to describe it. It was all over the place, so stifled. I could only make out what was on the surface, that pain and hatred. Who was that on the throne? Is this the future that the collective souls in the Sarkaz foresaw? Or is this the duty of the King of Sarkaz? Did Teresa have this dream? Could this be the sights she's looking forward to now. No, it can't be. Doctor, this dream doesn't mean anything, right? It's just a dream. Thank you, Doctor. Right, it was just a dream. Ascalon. Certain character that is getting to be an operator in the future. 6 months out. Amia, Doctor? Is Dr. Couts better? Hard to say. Her body was frail to start with, and her wounds are deep. Shining has attempted several solutions, but all of them were limited in their effectiveness. She is yet to awaken. Monster seems to be slowly repairing itself. Likewise, we do not have any idea how well it will recover, or whether it can actually even recover. Doctor, at the Defense Forces Command Tower, if only everyone did their best. Calcet. I never once imagined that Dr. Calcet will one day be wounded this badly. Neither did I. She always solved all our problems like they were nothing. She gave us the best advice for every situation. She's Dr. Calcet. I've never seen her look tired. But now... Doctor. Take her hand. I know. I will bear the responsibilities that are mine to bear. Rhodes Island's mission here is far from over. But I want to see Calcet one more time. May I? Even if it's just sitting there by her bed for a short while. Rather than staying with the wounded, you two have more important work to do. Closure wants to know what she wants you to know what she has finished, or that she has finished analyzing the data from the command tower. Quavisia is calling a meeting. We need to reevaluate the situation in Londinium. War has broken out. Then please tell us what our step should be.
No resting on your laurels now. We've got more fighting ahead of us.
Sure do. Let's see. -1 block. Enemy units' defense significantly increased. And... the map doesn't look too bad. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad. Maybe I'll just set Frostleaf here to just do some extra damage. Unless this is going to be like one of those civilian spots. But defense spot. Probably just Frostleaf doing some extra help. But I think most of the stuff is going to be just right in this little center location. Due to how much sanity we have, we can probably only do 12-3 and 12-4, and that's probably it. Including for my throat. It is also already 11:09, and we started at 9:30, so we're like halfway through the stream. But I will do what I can. I think we're gonna do 3 and 4, and then be done for today. I do plan to have another stream tomorrow to do more story because I am basically bum rushing the chapter 12 story. Because chapter 13 is literally right around the corner. So I'm going to get as much done as possible within the time that I have. We will likely be doing chapter 12 when chapter 13 is out already. But there's not much I can do about that right now. Making sure to stay hydrated. Amiya, doctor, you're here. As you can see, the morale here is rather low right now. It's a mess, but please pay it no mind. Ever since Allerdale left, our logistics have been in shambles. But given the problems we face, this is the best solution we have. We lost many men in the last battle. We once thought that these sacrifices would not be in vain, and that as long as we stopped the Sarkaz's projects, everything would still be salvageable. Regrettably, they acted much faster than we anticipated. The Sarkaz, not only do they have the shard, they also built that airship. The report has been distributed to everyone. The airship attacked the Duke of Windermere's army out in the open. The illusion of peace was shattered. As for the shard, if the Sarkaz willingly started this war, then their control of the shard must have proceeded much further along than we expected. I am too afraid to make this gamble. Allerdale once told me the legend of this sword. She said that the Sigh of Kings, capable of rending catastrophes asunder, is Victoria's strongest shield, with which the country can defend against the storms pulled toward it. Then she must have also told you that the stone of the sword, beneath the palace, exists precisely because there are few who can activate this power. Siege, do you really feel nothing from the sword? Maybe, I don't know, like a sense of being summoned? Or perhaps there's a low heat? Maybe you can suddenly use some really wicked Originium art? You just might be able to... No, nothing. The sword is cold and hard. It's a little lighter than to swing than a hammer. Not very easy to control your strength with. Is there nothing else? Any of you, part of you feels a little bit off. We should have this polished before it sees the battlefield again. It's a little rusted. Seems we can't count on the sword doing us much of a good turn and helping us fend off the threat from the shard for the time being. Sarkaz might think twice before they activate the shard. Right. It is better for this sword to be under our control than any other faction. At the very least, being able to prevent it from becoming an accomplice to this war is important enough. Important enough? This is important enough. Allerdale, if only I... Please don't get discouraged, Siege. Maybe you haven't gotten the hang of it, or it's not time yet. I'm just about done analyzing that supply line, Doctor. It's practically guaranteed that the starting point is rural Brentwood, but it's got a lot of endpoints. Aside from the munitions factory in Highbury, it's very likely that they have a route that extends right underneath the shard. We found out way too late. If only we found out like a month, no, 10 days sooner, we probably wouldn't have turned out the way, things probably wouldn't have turned out the way they have. That said, the intel about the supply route is still meaningful, Doctor. If this route is capable of the transport of heavy supplies and leads straight to the bottom of the shard, opportunity for a counteroffensive. That's right. With war having broken out, there may not be a lot of guards around Teresa's. Each lord of the royal court has to command their subordinates to fend off the dukes. The liches joining the fray would be a problem, but from what I know about them, they wouldn't truly pick a side. Besides, I'm sure Kaltzit talked to their messenger before. I just hope that they opted to follow her advice. Now we'd best... Vina, you ought to at least bring up what happened in Norport. It's our turf that those Sarkaz arseholes gutted out. Bear is still there. Bloody bastards. Instead of a counteroffensive on their supply line, we should be helping them. Calm down. We must think about the whole situation. You little twat. You think being a knight gives you the right to teach me to look at the big picture? I don't give a shite about wiping out some old Sarkaz monsters. My friends are in danger. My home is in danger. And you want me to bloody stand aside and do nothing? No, I know you're restless, but we must consider all possibilities. I do not recommend splitting up. Until we are certain the ones who attempted to take the Ringblade have given up. You'd best cower underground like cowards. Give me a break. We can take care of those sneaky bastards. What we have to do now is... Enough, Indra. Fine. When will the operation targeting Teresa's commence? Not very soon. We need time to observe the supply line's specific situation. The shard's internal structure needs to be investigated too. Teresa's, he's powerful. Letting our guards down would only spell our doom. How long will it take more specifically? Less than half a month. I hope to put a stop to all of this before he truly activates the shard. That's good enough. Doctor, I am requesting a temporary leave before this operation. Please rest assured that I will be back before the operation is to commence. So you insist on going to Norport. I've lost enough friends already, Cluvicia. I can't just do nothing over and over again. I am making this request out of my personal feelings, yes. I won't try to hide this. But at the same time, I think this is an opportunity. Before our normal operation officially begins, we can first remove certain hidden threats. For example, those who hurt Allerdale and those who want the Sigh of Kings. That's without a doubt a duke. No matter what position he's planning to take, I think I should have a conversation with him. Ascalon said this already, but time is not on our side. I understand. I will handle this properly. Doctor, what do you think? There are still things worthy of our attention on that plate. Right, the Sarkaz airship is very likely docked in Norport. And this also implies she, Teresa, might be there. In this war, we will have to face her sooner or later. There's another thing. Logos mentioned to me. Emergency. Ishin, emergency. Sarkaz ambushed the Camden Borough safe house. We, their forces. Ugh. Camden? What's going on? Alert, the safe house at Otterig. Being ambushed. Feist, the safe house in Highbury is under attack. What's the situation over there? We're mounting a counterattack and are evacuating underground. The situation's dire. It's likely that the Sarkaz have... This is not a simple annihilation. They are planning to. Must. Granny? Granny, do you hear me? Drat, the transmission's cut off. What's going on? You have 3 safe houses under attack by the Sarkaz. The communications have been cut off. We must back them up immediately. No. It's not just the 3 safe houses. Our communications have been cut off. Get down, Doctor. Clavisia, what's going on? How can this be? Here. This place is top secret within the Self-Salvation Corps. Logos mentioned to me that it's possible the Sarkaz have infiltrated our intelligence network. Based on the situation we now find ourselves in, I can only assume that the failure of our confidentiality far exceeds what we anticipated. It's very likely that all Self-Salvation Corps bases are under attack. We must evacuate. Where can we go, though? Everyone, the Sarkaz assaulted spheres. They've had their eyes on this place for a long time, and the rods on the surface have already fallen. The mid-level buffer zone has been breached, too. Doctor, the enemy is using a new Sarkaz witchcraft device. With their numbers and strength, our defense forces and Self-Salvation Corps friends won't be able to withstand this assault. Truth be told, we have no chance of winning. Robin, who's in charge of organizing defense? Won't last very long. How much time can they buy us? 15 minutes. No, half an hour. That's all the time we have. Evacuate? Where are we supposed to run? There isn't anywhere safe for the Self-Salvation Self-Salvation Corps to go in Londinium. The equipment factory's third warehouse, the car park, and the Four Seasons department store, maybe Viscount Burns' mansion. No, they're all too risky. There has to be somewhere else. If it's dangerous everywhere in Londinium, we can evacuate the city for the time being. Evacuate Londinium? But... right, the Sarkaz supply line. We can use the supply line in Highbury and get the hell out of Londinium. We've got too many wounded men and non-combatants. Taking an underground route will help us avoid most of the fighting. But all our work in Londinium... The onslaught we are facing tells us that they simply thought they had no need to wipe us out before. Now that war has broken out, the military commission has started to truly see the Self-Salvation Corps as a threat. We have no time to hesitate. I need to head out immediately to back Robin up. We will try to draw the Sarkaz main force attention the best we can to cover your evacuation. Very well. Amiya, Doctor, the Corps will need your assistance in this evacuation. You'll never abandon our allies. Both of these. I'm on it. Logos? I'm here. Help Horn and her team buy us time. Rest assured, Doctor. I will guarantee your safety. Before we could finalize plans to relocate and secure our communications, the Royal Court picked the perfect time for this annihilation operation. Seems they know us better than we ever imagined. Teresa's has also gotten sharper, not like when he was simply pretending. If it is certain that this place will fall, I guess it won't matter if we go all out. Logos, we will be back. You can rebuild this place. Next, we need to find the entrance to the Highbury supply route. You know them. Rest assured, I will evacuate safely with the wounded. Closure, take all the wounded non-combatants and go with them. I'm counting on you and Shining to take care of Calcit. What? Huh? Hey, Doctor, what kind of sick joke is this? If I'm supposed to be a non-combatant, then so are you. You bet your ass I can beat the crap out of you. It's you who should be evacuating with the rest of them. Ami and Ascalon will make sure I will be safe. Doctor, I won't let you get hurt. So we've got 3 teams. Horn, Misery, and Logos will lead the primary operation to resist the Sarkaz assault. Doctor, you go with Ami and Siege's gang to hold the other Sarkaz pursuers. Shining and I will follow the rest of the Corps and evacuate this place without making any noise. Where are we going to meet up in the end? Small town outside Londinium. Brentwood. Alright, objective confirmed. We're now in war. It won't spare any one of us. But we also mustn't lose hope. You tell him, Amia. Benevolent betrayal. Betrayal! I can't do the voice. I really tried, but I can't.
6 mics.
Draw swords. Okay. Shut up. I'm listening.
Volcanic soot contains lots of original.
Nothing can mask the sense of despair. Got it. Forward. Got it. Cut them to pieces.
Don't worry about me, Professor. I've skipped.
You can't hide your fear. I know what to do. Don't order me around. Got it. Cut them to pieces. I know what to do. Don't order me around.
I'm headed into the thick of it. In position, drawing the bead on the target.
See, having Frostleaf here is just really good to get the suspects out.
Got it. You can't stop me.
Let's chill down some hotheads.
Got it. Got it.
Light, brittle as frost, fragile. Drawing a bead on the target.
Mission accomplished.
That went well. Come in. You're here, Golden. Leto, you know us better than I ever imagined. What do you mean? The core. Where did you get this information from? Doesn't matter. Have a seat, Golden. Please, there is no reason for you to feel anxious. The war is not between you and I. Answer me, Colonel. I know why you came, Golding. You want to buy time. You are under the impression you have enough leverage to discuss terms. You think you can still help your friends. How regrettable. I thought you would be wiser. We had a conversation not too long ago. You said you did not want to see Londinium before become the next Lingons. Take a look around us. Take a look at the deep abyss that Londinium is plunging into. Is this the choice you made for yourself that you spoke about? Golding, didn't you rebuke me on that? Correct. We are plunging toward that abyss. War has begun. War once tore apart Gaul, our homeland. What will it tear apart this time? Maybe it'll be the Sarkaz. Maybe it'll be Victoria. You know how disastrous this will be. Hundreds of thousands, millions of people will bleed, die, and buried by this era. You know that better than anyone. That is correct. I know this very well. But I must also admit that it was you who opened my eyes. You made me reflect on my decision. If I had to question my conscience, I would not have cared nearly as much. Let us cast aside those hypocritical high hopes of mankind or civilization, Golding. When we were young, we talked freely of these subjects, and with nothing but admiration in our hearts, sung the praises of the outstanding men and women in history. Mankind, the master of all things, our intelligence and bravery set us apart from wild beasts and graced these lands with this radiant miracle. But if we simply lifted our heads from the books and compare, we would realize how close their endings are to the reality before us. The same downfalls, the same rottenness, the same self-destructions. What if all those things we sing the praises of were nothing but temporary illusions? What if believing that they are eternal makes us naive? What if destruction was our true nature? You weren't so pessimistic before, Leto. Pessimistic. Golding, you were so kind with your choice of words. You described my crazed musings as just pessimistic. I thought I warranted harsher criticism. It seems you were not as resolute as I thought you would be. I am simply exhausted. I merely started to try facing reality. It is very painful, but I have no other choice. As for the conversation we had the other day, I can now offer you a new answer. I did not choose any missions for myself, Lady Golding. I only wanted to survive the ceaseless destruction. It is pitiful and weak, insignificant and inadequate. But this is the answer I arrived at, and it is the only one I have to offer. What else can I do? You're a soldier. You should have followed orders. Whose orders should I have followed? The king is dead. The Sark has run the parliament, and each duke has his own master plan. You could have become a hero. At what cost? What if the price is not one that I can afford? When you walked into the room, did you see the eyes of the guards standing by the door? The officers under me, my comrades, and those bewildered young men. Till has 5 children. Sessen's mother has been paralyzed for 3 years, and Tauten's brother has erypathy. The vampires will suck their blood dry. Bowing down will not prevent anything. At the very least, nothing has happened yet, as of today. Golding, it is my hope that you survive this as well, speaking personally. Fundamentally, you and I might be of a kind. It's only that I have chosen to give up, while you are still standing firm. You and I are nothing alike. You asked me where I obtained the information on the core. Very well, I shall answer you. From a cowardly teacher. What are you saying? Look at yourself, Golding. Your blunders and the tracks you left behind are owed to your cowardice and fear. Sentimental kinds have never been a good fit for intelligence work. You've known that from the start. No, it can't be. There's been a lot of chatter on my communications here. Sark has ambushed the borough's safe house. We their forces. That we heard that. Safe house, the Octarig. And this is the borough safe house. No. Golding, they are dying because of you. You pushed them into the fire. This is what your fight brings. And for that, I can only mourn. Poor Golding. There's too many men. They're well equipped and they're working far too well with each other. Mercenaries aren't capable of this. These are military elites. Each and every one of them is a bloodthirsty machine who dug his way out of 1,000 battles. Out of the way, the lot of you. Indra, watch your back. This isn't going to work. We are on the back foot right now. I will locate the position of their commander. Amia, maintain formation. Don't stop. I got it. Damn, there are more of them down this alley. Stay close, Doctor. We will cut our way through. Go forward 300 meters and take the first left. Who's that? Hurry up. There are more ambushers on the roof. Doctor, did you hear that? That voice. Watch out for their arts. Cut through this danger zone. Hold on tight, Doctor. Left. Let's listen to the voice. I hate being ordered around. Fine. "50 meters, and to your right." Bloody, that's a wall there. No. Some kind of illusion, perhaps. Charge through it. There's no one I hate more than a sneaky bastard like you. Show yourself. That assassin of yours has already taken down the commander of your pursuers. You are safe for the time being. I said show yourself! Her name is Ascalon, is it? Impressive. Doctor, behind me. Who are you? Please, there is no need to fret, dear Rhodes Islanders. A few of my colleagues just touched base with Alexandria not too long ago. Alas, it did not go too well. You are the man behind Allerdale. Show yourself. I won't say it again. Please lower your hammer, Your Highness. You are merely wasting your strength. As heir to the throne, from a certain viewpoint, at least, you should have a bit more patience. You said so yourself not too long ago, that we should have a conversation. You had the cores tapped. Their evacuation plan will be successful. Do note that this is a promise, not sarcasm. My sincerest pleasure to meet all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope there is yet remains room for our objectives to coexist. Ashen Tribly? Very perceptive, Lady Isabel Montague. I should have expected no less from a scion of the court of Manchester. Indeed, we are often referred to as the Tribly Ashers. Should you have the chance, please send your mother my regards. You. Please, there is no need for alarm, Lady Montague. I harbor no ill will against you and your friends, at the moment. Is the arts gimmick you have over there a gesture of your goodwill, too? I'm not fond of having conversations next to a pile of explosives. This is merely a precaution. Well then, here's a precaution, too. Lower your weapon, Miss Ascalon. This is not worth it. Rhodes Island Art Pharmaceuticals made a series of passage and call permit requests for so-called industrial waste recycling and processing purposes, currently hiding within the territory of the Duke of Gododin. Currently 631 kilometers away from Londinium. And what if we are? Miss Amia, I surmise your recycling work is proceeding apace. Looks like the Victorian bigwigs aren't completely oblivious. We do merely what must be done. You have been very careful. You charted your course and built a well-hidden supply network around your ship. You wish to avoid Victoria's attention. And you almost fooled us. Regardless of whether your intentions are good or otherwise, wouldn't you agree that discretion is the worst quality there is to a ruler? Who do you serve? If at all possible, I would say that I serve Victoria. Alas, the reality is that I serve only a small part. This small part is more than enough to keep me well occupied, however. Which means you work for one of the dukes. If the Duke of Wellington saw us as a threat, Rhodes Island would have already been attacked. The Duke of Windermere's control has yet to reach Gododin's territory, not by a long shot. From what I know, the Duke of Normandy is more interested in business. Most other dukes are fence-sitters. You work for Castor. Doctor, the commander of Rhodes Island, there exists very little information on you. We were under the impression that this was due to lack of importance. Buttons? Higher icon. You didn't get me with that one this time. Good try though. I will, however, do the plank. So give me 15 seconds. There we go. Hello to you as well, though. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy yourself. And I shall hydrate. We're getting closer and closer to the end of the stream, however. Basically, we're going to do 12-4 and 12-4 story, and then we're going to end the stream. But I think right now we're on 12-3's after story. So the next one is the last one. I'm pacing myself this time. I figured out how much I could do, and I'm doing it. We will reevaluate our internal appraisal. What is Rhodes Island's worth to that part of Victoria you speak of? We actually do not have much of an interest in a so-called pharmaceutical company that deals in waste recycling. But your operator has a very unique background. Moreover, she possesses something important. You failed once, but you still haven't given up. This is my job, Your Highness. Let us not make things harder for each other. This sword is nothing more than a heavy rod of iron in your hands. What do you intend to do with it? Can you really cut through the catastrophe that looms above us? It is a mere tale. You cannot wield it to its true potential. What does Duke of Castor want to do with it, then? To fulfill a promise. A promise? To bring her followers peace and safety. We do indeed have certain technologies that can immediately put this blade to good use, such as the Sigh of Kings once sheltered Londinium. The Duke wishes for this blade to become a turning point for unity. In that case, those who aren't on your side will deservedly be swallowed by the catastrophe. That is how it will become that turning point. Doctor, I will make my move in 3 seconds. We must escape the situation. Our operators on the landship are more than capable of taking care of the crisis that could soon unfold, and so we have to take this risk. 3, 2, 1. All of you seem pretty tense. Perhaps I came at a bad time. Right on time. Inez. Ah, she looks so good. Mr. Tribley Asher, you have to admit that you came well prepared. 13 small communication stations, with 4 of them triggered passively. They were set up to automatically send out orders if they don't receive your message after 10 minutes. I didn't want to venture a guess as to what orders they were meant to send out, so I took the liberty of crushing them all. I hope you don't mind. Your subordinates were very strong, even after they heard the word vampire. That said, I believe that aside from the Sarkaz royal court, there are certain others hiding in the city who would be very interested to learn of their existence. Tell me, where do you suppose I should take them? Enid, former Sarkaz mercenary. It's hardly surprising that you are still alive. We've determined for some time now that someone was behind those little tricks all around Londinium. You've done very well. We know that there is a sizable number of Sarkaz mercenary inclined to leave the military commission's control, but we both know that does not come without a cost, don't we? Your business partner might be in fairly dire straits. Perhaps we should be a little more blunt with each other. She looks so good. I know you have more tricks up your sleeve, and you know we still have some trump cards in our hand. Let's stop probing each other. Your shadow tells me you are wavering. Very well, let's make a deal. I have a tricky mission, but as you can see, I am not much for fighting and adventure. So you want someone to die in your stead? I have faith in your abilities. Certainly, I've already seen the airship that is currently parked at the now isolated Norport Borough. Make your way there and get your hands on its schematics. What's in it for me? You get to live. For now. You, your friends, your allies, your wounded, and your landship all gets to remain alive for the time being. This is no trouble at all to Victoria, but as for the rest of you... Deal.
I've been through countless battles, seen the carnage, witnessed the silent nothingness at the end.
Yeah, so this is the last one we're doing today. This is also the last of our sanity for today. And then we'll come back and do more tomorrow.
Glad to see you again, Doctor.
Got a ticket. Collect all. Yeah. I gotta do all of this. Get all those potions, get some of that, get the other stuff before they're... Yeah, I already did all that. A lot of rewards to get. Oh, nope. It says 21. Don't want that. There we go. Deployable units -2, and more enemies will appear. So this side and this side. But I also need 2 units looking inwards. Guess we can do that with like Golden Globe, Angelina, Podenko. Where is... There they are. How quick to answer, Doctor of Rhodes Island. A safe location has been sent to Alexandria's terminal. Please stand by there. I cannot guarantee your safety for any actions you take outside of our arrangement. My terminal? When did you... You have some impressive talents among your ranks. That's very good. This should contribute to our common goal instead of becoming an obstacle in our cooperation. Right. This isn't completely up to us. Of course, we must slowly build our trust. Please await our next communication. Doctor, I need to contact Closure and evaluate the safety of Rhodes Island's communications. Until then, maintain radio silence. Of course, we also need to take care of the issues regarding the landship's calling procedures. Thank you, Inez. Hello, Inez. Is this the first time we've met? I'm afraid not. I've lost some of my memories. I'm aware. This is our first meeting for this version of you. Have you really lost your memories? Or is this a part of your plan? I forgot about a lot of things indeed. I've never been quick to judge, Doctor. I can sense that you've gone through some changes. We'll have a lot of time to get reacquainted in the future. Rather than trusting verbal statements, I prefer to see things for myself. Inez, the doctor. Relax, Amia. My prejudices won't be a factor. For now. That is fair. Evacuation's almost complete. Good. We need to get out of here ASAP. That's Sarkaz from Rhodes Island. Is his name Logos? I thought we'd seen all the surprises Rhodes Island's fighting style had to offer, having fought alongside Misery all this time. Right, it doesn't matter who exactly he is. His cursed craft has been a great help. He's a great darts player, too. Played against him for a couple rounds. His accuracy might just be as terrifying as those arts of his. A friend of mine taught me a couple tricks before, that's all. He's no match for me in chair sliding match, but when it comes to darts, he is not so bad. Horn, the Sarkaz forces have retreated. We should seize this opportunity. Also, chair sliding? According to the plan, Rhodes Island and the Corps will take the supply route, head toward the exit, and make their way to a town called Brentwood to build a new safe house there. We will regroup with them there. I suggest we charge toward the city walls. Norport Borough is gone, and even though Sarkaz have patched up the walls, they wouldn't have had enough time to build new plates to fill the hole there. The exposed underground structure might just help us somehow. Looks like I've met another old friend. The one who taught you to play darts? Regrettably, no. Unlike this old friend, my friends are loyal to one another until our deaths. Everyone, I'm afraid I still have matters to attend to within the city. Horn is more than capable of leading you outside of Londinium, and my co-worker Misery will also lend you his assistance should the need arise. Understood. Stay hidden, everyone. Follow me. Are the mountains of the past really so worthy of reminiscing? Blood and tears are nothing to be obsessed with. I must say, I'm not entirely fascinated by them. What if the mountains are the only place there is left to stay? What if the only light of glory there can give us warmth? And here I thought I'd hunted enough of you. This is the 31st Molly. You're the hard-working one, Banshee. But you prevailed nonetheless. You helped Teresa's decimate the core. That's business. I would pry up every tile in Londinium to find the last of your hidden shards, Damazi. You yet refute the possibility of change. This has always been your choice. A little arrogant, aren't we, young Banshee? We understand change. We come from change itself. But change is merely a means to adaptation. All change has a final objective. Even before the Sarkaz found themselves in this state, we had long been walking upon the lands. Ideologies, faiths, missions, slogans, none of them can escape the sands of time. Those ideas you mistake as novel has been conceived long ago. The paths you deem noble have been paved time and time again. And where are they now? We yet still before you. And that is the greatest proof. Bang. Bang bang. Phew. Should save some strength, Cador. You've eaten more than enough. Delphine has talked to you about your appetite problem already. We're much worse off than we used to be now. Relax, Baird. Things haven't completely gone to shit yet. Them devils aren't nearly as strong as they look. All they did was catch us off guard. I had a chat with Marshall from the Transport Union. They have a group of men over there. Once we rope in the people on our end, we might just stand a chance to defeat the Sarkaz. Just like how we joined forces with those other gangs to take the cops down. Jump them from behind, get the job done clean. Pow pow bam! Couple punches, that's all it takes. The army isn't core, or isn't cops. I know, they're a force to be reckoned with. But we aren't afraid of blood. We aren't afraid of sacrifices. We will walk over our fallen comrades and smash their faces in with our fists. Like our gym's name, Slobberknocker. Marshall and I worked it out. We will definitely win. Just like those bootleg Lungman videos you collect, I'm serious. I've been around the block in Norport not much shorter than you. We need to find a way out of this mess ourselves, just like before. That siege of yours just up and left Glasgow all those years ago, and our turf got handed over just like that. It was you and I who racked our brains to figure out how to gain a foothold here again. This is nothing different than before. We stand together, get prepared, and beat them all up. That's how we made it this far. Doesn't matter how things are outside. On the streets, we do things the street way. Next, we just gotta find ourselves the right moment. Looks like Delphine's back. Did old Baldy Purr finally give in? Given the circumstances, we're paying a pretty decent price. I'm sure he... What's this? Is that blood? Old Baldy Purr is dead. The Sarkaz. No, not the Sarkaz. Damn it, I have no idea who they were, but they were already out when we got to the store. They were a bloodthirsty bunch. I saw them with my own eyes. There was this man with a crowbar pinning another man on the floor. That man even... Bunch of coughing. I'm not doing it. The situation's bad. My guess is some starving bum set his sights on per shop. The idiot still had bread in his glass showcase. And it went as you'd expect. The more or less guess on how many of these bums there are in this lockdown district. Bloody idiots. Whatever they've been sniffing must have finally got to their heads. I know the man with the crowbar. He's a tall hair product salesman. Always had a smile on his face. I bought him a number of times when he gave me discounts. They aren't all that good, though. I saw him just now. His eyes were deep red. There's blood on his lips. That crowbar was completely bent. I almost didn't recognize him. Fear spreading, Cador. It was just paint? Sure. The transport union guys did say that there could be cowards going nuts. How could... Barricade the door. What are you spacing out for? Make yourself useful. Cador, push that sofa over here. What's the oof for? That was better timing than I was wanting it to be. Fair. But yeah, I think vampires is starting to become more of a thing right now. Bloody bastard. What do the lot of you want? They were talking about sniffing things, so I said paint. Oh my god. Now piss off. We've got some people alive in here. This is Glasgow's territory. Baird, watch out. Fire axe smashes through the gym's thick door and breaks open a hole. The sharp axe brushes past Baird's hair. A few strands of her hair flutter in the air. I said it already. We've got people still bloody alive in here. Cador presses against the door with his body and grabs the axe, peeking through the hole back with his two hands. The man outside makes several attempts to pull the axe back in vain. I don't care who the hell you are, but get out of my sight or I'll have this axe in your brain. The axe wobbles a few times, and after a few heavy kicking sounds in the door, the men outside finally gives up, their chaotic footsteps slowly growing quieter. Your hand, your fingers. Good thing that bandages are the last thing we'll run out of in a gym. Baird, Delphine, we need to take inventory of all our resources again. I'll take down a couple sandbags to reinforce our front door. These people, have they gone mad? The citizens of Norport Borough were all upstanding men, basically. What about the police? They were also always so quick to write tickets. If I were a cop so unlucky as to not make it out of this plate in time, I would definitely have locked myself in my home with my weapon at the ready by now. I need to head on over the transport union later. The people here still trust Marshall. Everyone always listens to him. He'll find a way. Damn it, bloody hell. The Sarkas are still out there. These people are out of their minds. How could they? What should we do now? Cador said we just have to wait for an opportunity. Mr. Next Academian, are you aware of the Great Fire in Norport 15 years ago? Oh, yes, I've heard. It was in the port, if I recall. It doesn't actually take very much to burn down a port. All you need is scorching hot weather, a warehouse full of wood shavings, and a cigarette butt not fully extinguished. No one can put out a fire like that. All we can do is watch everything burn to ashes. Scary shit going on right now.
Let's see. Which insect is falling into my trap?
Draw swords. All right, guys. Let's make some noise.
わかりました。
Got it. Shut up.
Gently landing.
Picked out your bait yet?
Ever wondered how it feels to float in the air?
はい、私が何とかします。 Volcanic soot contains lots of originium particles. Let's
Nothing can mask the scent of despair.
Awaiting orders. You can't stop me.
Okay. My bodily fluids aren't the only thing that's chilling.
どこに行けばいいですか?
Don't keep me waiting.
Ah.
My bodily fluid. Ever wondered how it feels to float in the air?
With all of you behind me, I won't take a single step back. どこに行けば皆さんの援護は任せてください。
Yeah, draw swords.
Your orders.
Forward. Awaiting orders. You can't stop me. Awaiting orders. Fear not! Here I come!
In position. Be advised. Target eliminated. はい? こういう雑草ならたくさん見てきましたから。 どこに行けばいいですか? こういう雑草ならたくさん見てきました。
Kick ass!
This time, flowing magma. Please slow your steps.
Oh my god, these guys are back.
はい、皆さんの援護は任せてください。
Haven't seen these guys in forever. Hey, Final Phase.
Okay. I've got a magic touch.
Welcome to the stream.
Requesting permission to fire.
I'll charge the... Kick ass!
Mission accomplished.
Don't let any of them through. I didn't. Even the civilians. I have to let most of the civilians in. But here we are at the last bit of story that we'll do for tonight before we end the stream for tonight. We will do more tomorrow. These munitions factories are all empty. We hauled away 2 production lines and tore down the others. The situation was dire. We didn't know how long we had until Sarkaz mercenaries caught on to what we were up to in the factories. Otherwise, we could have taken even more equipment. Highbury. This new industrial district feels rather different from the old District 1 I was in. Or the old district I was in. In Sudian, we were more like spanners, hammering away to knock together everything at all costs. But here, these production lines, I don't know. Maybe you guys are more like gears. Turning ever so stably day in and day out. We're used to it. That's how shocking human adaptability is. Found it. It's here. Why are these symbols carved on the collection boxes? Years ago, our workshop used these as code words to let each other know when to slack off. Never did I imagine they would one day come in handy. Looks like workers everywhere just want to catch a breather, no matter the cost. Let's see. Pato reorganized most of the South Salvation Corps from other districts. The Highbury safe house ambushed 2, but a few of the pipelines deeper into the plate that's used as rest stops weren't discovered. They should be there. I'm back. I've marked the positions of all the sentries. It's not a whole lot of them. Looks like all the manpower in the city is either headed to the front lines or followed the others. Closure. Still can't say I agree with you installing your voice banks on my drones. Hey, don't forget I helped upgrade this drone of yours. Alright, enough chit-chat. I heard from the Ascalon that some of our communication systems might have been compromised by some Victorian duke. I don't really buy that they can hack us all the way through, but just to be safe, I'm gonna run a whole security audit. Feist, have you confirmed where the rendezvous point is? It's confirmed. Awesome. Let's see. We may have Shiny as our super bodyguard, but she still has to take care of the wounded. So avoid fighting at all costs, got it? Super bodyguard, that's funny. Got it. You guys go on ahead and make contact with the remaining core fighters first. Glovicia and I will work on the evacuation. Let's go, Rock. Right. What's the matter? No, nothing. I was just thinking, was Highbury always this quiet? Going by the temperature in the air, there's no furnace burning in the neighborhood. That isn't a good sign. We need to act fast. We should be able to make it deeper through this maintenance access. Who's there? Feist, it's me. Tommy, you're here. You should have waited for us down there. The army has just cleared out our safe houses. There might still be patrols up here. No, I know. We've suffered pretty heavy losses. Day broke his arm too. Catherine gave him first aid. How much longer until the rest of your group gets here? They should have already left. Don't worry, there's a professional doctor among them. She will take care of his arm. Alright. Our people are all at the lower level of maintenance access K-13. I heard the Corps are going to evacuate from Londinium. Only for the time being. We will be back, Tommy. We're the Londinium Citizens Corps. It's just that we need to get our wounded somewhere safe, and there are none in Londinium. Alright. Now head on down. Catherine keeps it to herself, but we can all tell she's worried sick about you. Have you heard about what happened to Norport? Good gracious, the Sark has plucked the whole plate up and tossed it out of the city. I heard that Flying Fortress even destroyed the Duke's high-speed warship. A high-speed warship! War's broken out, Feist. I've never truly experienced it before. I used to think that joining the Corps would be no different than before. I thought I'd be standing in front of the assembly line, turning screws, and the only difference would be that the weapons go to you instead. This is our home. Of course, Londinium's our home too. We belong here, nowhere else, right? If you ask me, I think I've shown more than enough good faith already. Hardly unexpected. We too have noticed the Sark has secret transportation network for some time now. But it's true that there are certain details that are worth getting to the bottom of, and we will continue our investigation with a focus on these areas. And I have a decent guess as to who is behind some of these events. I hope you will share the results of your continued investigation with us. Of course, just as I previously promised. Rhodes Island's response is fast. Your terminal signals have already been re-encrypted. If the opportunity ever arises, I would love to meet your engineer, Closure. She might not like you. I must say, for a pharmaceutical corporation, your company is home to a variety of talents. True. That said, Her Grace has never been one to refuse new friends in lieu of making enemies. Not to mention that Her Grace and Alexandria are related by blood. She is more than willing to take care of her young relative. Please do let her know how appreciative I am of her looking out for me. Your Royal Highness, I may yet call you so out of respect. This does not represent my position whatsoever. You can choose to call me Siege. Victoria is a heavy burden, Your Royal Highness. It is nowhere nearly as vivid and vibrant as it seems on the surface. The return of a certain person, no matter who she is or what she calls herself, is of no benefit to the nation. If, under certain specific circumstances, that person were to use her identity and influence inappropriately, she might even do the nation harm. That is my personal viewpoint. Then you'd best keep your personal viewpoint to yourself. I'm sure you know that my amendability of this peace between us does not equate to a tolerance of your cliches. Your Royal Highness, there is no reason for this animosity between us. I am simply following orders, and I have more than demonstrated my goodwill between the bounds of my responsibilities. Then perhaps your demonstration hasn't been very clear. That or our definitions of goodwill are different. Wouldn't my suggestion that you should make your way to No Point count? If I am not wrong, you have a friend who is currently trapped there. I thought you would see that I am very much putting myself in your shoes as I advocate for this partnership. I am doing you a favor. My goal is to obtain the schematics. You are free to do anything else you deem necessary, including rescuing your friend. If you would offer that blade in your hand, I could even offer my personal assistance. You can save your disgusting hypocrisy. Listen, I don't so much as want to think about what you and that duke you work for are scheming. Stay out of my way and get out of my sight. And you better remember this. For what happened to Allerdale, you and I and your master still have a score to settle. And you'd better believe it will be settled. Of course. I just got word that the Duke's Special Response Team has already made all the preparations necessary for you to evacuate Londinium and board Nordport Borough. Let us be off. Mr. Asher, the moment I first saw you, when I realized just how solid of a grasp the Duke has on Rhodes Island communications, I've been thinking. You've always been able to do this, haven't you? What do you mean? You've always known what everyone is up to, whether it's us, the Sarkaz, or the Corps. It's nowhere nearly as simple or comprehensive as you would imagine. We've always found it very tricky to stay thoroughly informed on the Sarkaz, especially certain men of the royal court. Many of my colleagues must have lost their lives because of this. But you've always had a good understanding of the tides. Why did you, and especially the dukes behind you, let things turn out like this? The Casdell Regent is a formidable opponent, and my guess is even Old Wellington would admit this. The Casdell Military Commission's technology and equipment leave a deep impression. When coming from the Executor Victorian Duke's will, that just sounds like sarcasm. Based on our analysis, Teresa's may be formidable, but his strength alone is not enough for Victoria to fall to such lows, where it finds itself in the mercy of others. And now I get it. You choose to do nothing. You simply watched as the flames of war engulfed your country. Omnia, the little leader of Rhodes Island. How old are you? 15? 16? You are still a child, even. You despise blood and war, but let me clarify this. We are not very fond of these things either. But to us, the objective of war is never war itself. War is an extension of politics. The Sarkaz need war to unite themselves, and Victoria doesn't necessarily lack the need for one. However, when around whom we unite is worthy of succession. And for that, this is very important. It is far more important than you could imagine. War is cruel. Suffering and death follow in its wake. It exposes our barest, truest forms to one another. Tears off all disguises. At certain stages of history, ever forward march, we need this kind of honesty. All of us do. Now make your preparations, Rhodes Island. It is time for us to depart. Molly, they caught you too? Leto, she's just a teacher. The children in school still need to be cared for. You have already destroyed what you came to destroy. Must you drag even more innocents into this mess? You're here, Your Excellency. The Banshee came looking for trouble with one of us again. I will send a unit to provide support. No need. Taking a walk with him isn't so bad. You should go go to the old Red Eye. He just opened a new bottle of wine, waiting for you. And we have already grown tired of his stories of yesteryear. You're a much better listener than us. Understood. Please pardon me, then. You. Her throat has never felt this dry. The person in front of her looks and acts exactly the same as Molly she remembers, down to the tiniest movements. She is always frowning a little, watching every move of the mischievous children. At supper time, she would hand out bread to everyone and chastise anyone who hasn't washed hands. Ah, yes, you remember Leto? Yeah, I also remember quote-unquote Molly. But as soon as I saw her this chapter, I was like, sus. Because I remember chapter 11. Her expression is the same as ever, but for some reason, the drop of sweat dripping down Golding's back seeps into her clothes. Lance scratched his thumb again yesterday, but don't worry, I put on some ointment. He's always such a handful. What are you? The teacher has made it back to the school already. She will take good care of the children, I'm sure. How about a chat? Relax, it's just a chat. If you still don't feel comfortable, we can continue to use the identity of the owner of this appearance around you. Why don't we talk about the weather first? Or perhaps the children's studies? There's the play too. Lady Golding, merely thinking about it brings tears to my eyes. The children have all grown so big in just the blink of an eye. Enough! Stop talking to me like you're Molly. Stop using that face, you monster. What do you want? Would you like a cup of tea? Leto has pretty fine tastes, and his tea here is exquisite. We finally have a satisfying outcome for all the missions Teresa's handed us. Now we can take a short break. How long have you been around me? Not as long as you think. Can we skip the boring work talk, though? It's break time right now. We want to do something that we're truly interested in. For example, we want to know what you think about this era and your conclusions around all this. I don't understand. You used me to destroy the core. I should have no more value to you anymore. Damn it, I handed all this out myself. Don't blame yourself. This is no big deal at all. We had all kinds of ways to locate the core stronghold. You are not the only lead we have. This may sound a little hurtful, but you aren't the most important one. But we do indeed have a little bit of interest on you. We enjoyed your work and chatting with you. So let's have a chat together. There's nothing more to this. It's just a conversation. We've had conversations like this many times, with countless of identities, with countless others. But we are still confused. We still don't want to give up any chances that could lead to an answer. Lady Golding, how do you think we should live? Interesting question.
You always win, just like the old days. But this time, your joy is real.
We made good progress. We got, like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 Originium or OP, Arknight Prime.
See you again, Doctor.
Ah, well, 2 less than I expected, I guess. But we made good progress. And doing all of this chapter will probably net us enough to get all of the skins that come out during the next chapter that I want. So that's going to be nice. Especially if I keep doing it immediately on the adverse difficulty. Because I'm going to do every single one of these on adverse without stop. I'm going to get every single one of the OP as possible. You know, one there, one there. But yeah, I'm excited to get through this chapter. Finally took me a while to actually start doing it. But we're here to complete it.
Engineering's doing a good job.
I'm gonna fix my base real quick.
ランセット2姉様はどこだ？
ここ掃除してあるんでしょうね。
And it's fixed. And I still have 25 sanity, which I'm gonna just shove right into this because I have a single ticket that I can use. Whoops. There we go. Boom. And my shoe funds increase.
Glad to see you again, Doctor.
$98,000. I used to have 200,000. Then there was Inez and Jessica and a couple other operators that happened to come by. But yeah, that's all for today. I will make another stream set up for tomorrow around about the same time and the same duration. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And have a nice night.
You look a little worse for wear every time I see you. Are you doing all right these days, Doctor?